Hello, everyone. My name is Cheese, and today I will be doing my personal worst to best episode ranking for Smile Friends Season 3. Oh my god. Okay, first of all, I just want to say up front that I am still doing this, ranking, even though, the alleged episodes 9 and 10 haven't come out yet. I know this is maybe and probably will be like an incomplete list as of right now, but to be quite frank, I need to do this now because in a couple days when the new Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball comes out, I am not gonna give a shit. So I'm just doing it before I completely dive into my next hyperfixation, if you will. But if or when we get the next two episodes out, I will probably talk about them or do another video or something, but another thing that I must say is that I say worst to best because I wasn't I usually do if you've been on the channel, I usually do tier rankings for episode reviews, but there's only 8 episodes in this season, so it's not enough to do it like a proper tier ranking, so I'm just gonna do a worst to best because that's the best format I can think of. But I don't say worst as in it's actually bad because season 3 is my favorite season of Smile and Friends. This season is so fucking good. You don't understand how much I love season 3 and I really loved season 2 when that came out. But this shit is on some different level. So it honestly hurts my soul that I put a few near the bottom as in oh, it's not that good. No. I personally wouldn't rate any of these episodes lower than an 8 out of 10. So, cuz even the ones that are lower, it's still if we must rank the entire series so far, it's these would be all pretty much in the upper half, I think. So, it's just we have to they fall where they fall. I love them all, just know that I love them all because we will get into that. Again, of course, this is all my opinion. This is not the objective ranking of the quality of these episodes because I think a lot of personal taste in how you like these. This highly depends on my sense of humor, honestly, and what types of storylines I like. That's how I judge Smile and Friends is how funny did I find it, and in some cases how good was that story. So it's just my opinion. So please leave your own rankings in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Just please be nice about it, okay? Hey, this is Ed and Cheese, and I don't know why I forgot to make this disclaimer earlier, but this is all good fun. This is all good fun, fellas, because even though it sounds like I take this way too seriously, and if you are the type of person that's Smile and Friends isn't that deep, you should never look further into it. It's get off this video immediately. Honestly. Because me analyzing shit is just what I do for fun. So it's but that's all this is. Good fun. I'm not losing sleep over this. Also, upon looking back on this footage. Um also disclaimer that this video is heavy cursing because when I'm excited I say fuck a lot. So I mean, most if you're watching this show, you probably don't care, but I'm just saying. So, I recommend you just put this on in the background while you do something else because it's like all my other videos on my channel. It's just kind of like this podcast style type of thing. And also, this is very unscripted because at least for my other tier rankings, I had some notes in front of me. Nah, I got the ranking and that's it. So everything I'm saying is completely off the cuff. But I have basically microanalyzed these episodes for almost 2 months, so I know my thoughts very clearly about them. Let's get right into this. Alright, so starting with the bottom, ranking at number 8 is was honestly one of the easier decisions to make on this list is Squim Returns as being my least favorite of the season. And I mean, I say this was like an easy decision, but it's not like I don't like this one. It's just like, quite frankly, in comparison to everything else, it just was. And I'll tell you exactly why that is. Because I have such a love-hate relationship with this episode, quite frankly, because you wanna know why? Fucking hate Squim. Oh my god. Mm, literally, I am not fucking kidding. Like, the most insufferable character I have ever seen. But you know what? That means he was so well written. Cause his whole thing was to be like this super fucking annoying guy, and they did it so well that it pisses me off. So it's like I understand completely what they were doing here, and they definitely achieved it, but it just bothers the hell out of me because I just don't like watching characters like that, like, be fucking annoying and like stupid. And it's like I get it, I get it. That doesn't mean I like it. Because I think like would I want to rewatch this like willingly? Like not in like if I just want to sit down and watch something to turn off my brain. I don't think so. But it's not. I'm being like too hard on Squim because, well, his design's really cute. But it's like I understand. I completely understand. But the fact that I have to watch Squim for more than half of this episode is just like you kind of see the dilemma. Fuck Squim, but they did write him extremely well because what I must say as like like the main positive of this episode is like how brilliant the story is. Well, first we get some of the lore to the Smile and Friends company that I wasn't sure if they were ever going to bring up, but as Squim being the very first person to go out and make people smile, and him coming back to him. And if I understand like this very fascinating character dynamic of like him just being Pim, but just on crack. And it very much felt like that because I feel like a lot of interpretations of Pim kind of can sometimes steer him towards a Squim type persona, but he's really more complex than that. And I feel like this episode was kind of what they were doing. It's like, yes, Pim is happy and positive, and he's like always optimistic, but that doesn't mean he's like this flanderized, bland, oblivious, dense character. Because especially as we've seen in this season, he does have a very broad range of emotions that they show on screen. So I think this episode was specifically meant to highlight where Pim's niceness stops, pretty much. I mean, there's we'll get there where the other episodes kind of show that, but this one specifically is like here is Pim's foil, and also an opposite to Charlie, but that kind of makes him realize how much he appreciates Charlie, because as we see, as he begins to hang out with Squim more, he realizes how fucking annoying he actually is, and that, yeah, and the whole thing of like, you have to be positive all the time. It doesn't matter what the situation is. You always have to be positive because there's nothing better than being positive. It's extremely toxic positivity. Like, that is literally who Squim is. It's just the walking embodiment of toxic positivity. And him realizes that is like, yes, I would love to hang out with someone that is like more positive, but you can't just be completely oblivious to everything to where your positivity actually hurts other people. Because the reason why Squim is on my ops list is because of how he treated Mr. Ice Cream. He did not deserve any of that shit. I love Mr. Ice Cream. He seems like such a chill guy. Why the fuck did Squim have to do that? It's like get the fuck out of here, bro. That was literally the moment that was like, nah, this dude's gotta go. And I like that it was that moment that was also the turning point for Pym to kind of turn against him. Because he's like, you really hurt Mr. Ice Cream back there. It's like, you need to tone it down. And it's like we actually get to see, not really a rare moment, but a moment nonetheless of him being like annoyed with somebody pretty much, which we don't always see, even though there are some instances from before where he was. But I also think leading towards that he is like the opposite of Charlie. In one, like it was a more obvious comparison. One, because he was yellow, and also two, they were talking about like how Charlie isn't really the positive type like Pim and Squim are. Oh, Pim and Squim. I am extremely stupid because I just figured this out as I just said it. Pim and Squim is meant to be similar, like the sound similar, right? To show that foil character type dynamic. Oh shit. It's kind of like Pim and Mip, right? It's got to be like the same type of thing where like any foil to Pim is going to have a name that's slightly the same. I think that's great writing. Anyway, tangents aside, they kind of they don't really. Well, Charlie catches some strays, but like Pim is like, oh, I wish he was positive like you, and like kind of putting Charlie down, but Pim isn't that like harsh about it. But the comparison was definitely made. So it's like kind of like Squim is like an antagonist to both Pim and Charlie, even though Charlie had never seen Squim in his like original state, really. Like he hasn't interacted with him much. But that comparison can definitely be drawn from that. And listen, Squim getting shot at was so satisfying. I was like, yeah, get his ass. Like, that sounds so mean, but it's like, you know what? He fucking had it coming. Even though it was like low key fucked up how they're like, oh, we saved his life and now his spirit is in a vegetative state in and for what? It's like, oh, that is dark even for this show. But it's like the ending. It's like, should we have brought him back in the vegetative state, or should we just let him die? I think they should just let him die. It's like I think you would have gotten the same message across if you didn't paralyze him. So I don't know. But my other issues kind of reside in the B plot, if you will, of the Charlie Parasite Kebab incident. I must say that my absolute favorite part of this entire episode is the trippy sequence where Charlie starts to hallucinate. That animation, I just love when they do like trippy animation for stuff because it very much reminds me of the alien drug trip scene in Pim, Charlie, Bill, and the Alien. Yeah. Like I was like, I kind of want to see something like that again, and we got exactly that. Where this cool, like squiggly watercolor type of art style, and I'm like, that is so cool. But that is kind of where my um liking for the B plot ends because I just didn't like this just flat out. Like at least for the Squim story plot, it's like I understand what they were doing and like even though I don't like the character per se, it's like I understand and respect like the story they're doing here. But for basically this plot of Charlie skipping out on work to play a video game and Mr. Boss catches him and he's like, if you don't come back here by noon, you're fired. And then Charlie is basically having food poisoning and a parasite as he's trying to basically drag himself to work. Like, he's anxious and he's sick and he's just seeing shit, and it's like, for what? Like, Charlie skipping work to play games is so some shit he would do. It's like, I don't know why the plot is torturing him for that. I mean, obviously you shouldn't do that, but it's like, is having a stomach parasite the proper punishment for playing hooky? I don't think so. And it's like, and not even just that. Like, the main thing is it was just gross. Like, it was literally like unpleasant to watch, like Charlie suffering with the gurgling noises and the nauseous energy, and he's just having a bad time. And uh, nah, I'm literally one of my least favorite B plots of the series because I just don't find that funny or interesting. It's just gross. It's just gross. It's like give him a break or something because I don't want to see him moan in pain as his stomach is making weird noises. Like that's just gross for no reason. But I must say, like it's like the little things in this episode that is like, well, that was kind of cool. Specifically the Simpsons reference. I am not the type of person that gets really excited by references, even if I know what it's about. Because I'm gonna be real, like, half the references in this show, it's like, I don't know what that is unless I heard someone else say this was that. It's like, I don't know. There's just niche shit that I just don't know about because that's not what I know. But the Simpsons reference is probably one of the best references I have ever seen just in general. It's like, I think it helps that it's like something that everybody knows. So it's like, it's obvious, it was obvious what it was, but it was like more widely appealing. It's not like because it's widely appealing that's what makes it good or anything. I just real it's like the animation, like the kind of janky looking animation and like this weird staticky sound design and the whole joke of it is just so good. Like that was thought through thoroughly. It's not like you just throw a random reference in somewhere in the background or it's like an unspoken thing. It's like, nah, this shit's right up front and it is so cool. I don't know. I just specifically thought that was cool. I must also add as one of the little bits of Squim returns that makes me love this episode a hell of a lot more than I otherwise would is Alan's cosplay because oh my god. Alan's just getting all of his best moments in this season, but him walking in to the break room wearing his like magical girl dress and he's like, me and Glap are going to Anime Con and I dressed up and then him's like, nice, I like it. And they just leave. It's like you know how easy it was to like make fun of him or something? Nah. Pim's like, cool, have fun, and he just walks away. It's like also Alan being into cosplay is cute, so I like that. But yeah, it's like I know it sounds like I don't like this episode, but I really don't. I don't dislike it really. I can't say like oh I love it, but I do like it. Like I love it enough type of thing. Specifically because I think they were doing some really interesting like character stuff in the Squim A plot that kind of saves everything else. Because even though I find Squim annoying personally, it's not like he's a bad character. Like, he's not. He was really well written. And he did what he set out to do. So, I can't really dox it for that. It's just like my own personal preference is Squim can fuck off. Stay away from me. But yeah, I still like it though. Okay, so for number 7, this hurts my fucking soul by how low it is. Mole Man. Oh my. Listen, listen. I love this shit so much. I know. I know how objectively fucking weird it is and nasty, but I love it. I love it. I love that about it. I feel like this episode is like you either love it or hate it. Like you either think this is the funniest shit ever or you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? I feel like there's no in between. Like my biggest comparison to this is The Amazing World of Gumball Season 4 episode The Slap. If you are familiar with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't know what that is, it is an episode where Gumball spends the entire episode trying to get Tobias to slap his butt. Yeah, so I find the comparison to that to this to be very strong, except Mole Man is objectively more raunchy than that, which makes it shocking, but you know what? I am not opposed to like objectively shocking shit like this, because I don't know what the fuck I thought this episode would be about based on like like the early preview clip where it shows them looking at the photos on the wall. I don't know what I thought this was gonna be. It wasn't that. I was completely blindsided by what this actually was. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, okay. Like, this was something I had to grow to love. Because at first I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it's like, no, this is peak, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it. Because the main man, Mole Man, fucking love him. One of my favorite characters, just period, in the show. Like, fight me, I don't care. He's not like top 3 or anything, but you know what? I like this goober. He's just so fucking strange. It's like, I want to dissect him and see his inner workings. Like, I don't know. He's just a really weird character, but I feel like what makes this episode work for me is because I feel like there's like a cycle to this. On one end of the scale we have completely normal, and on the other side we have it completely unhinged. It's kind of like a bell curve even. It's like it starts out no you can start out normal, then it like slowly gets more and more absurd, but then we reach past the point where it's absurd but not in a good way, like gross. But then we kind of cycle back around to it being so weird that it makes it good. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like how I find the Gumball episode The Slap to be one of my top favorite episodes is because I feel like it does the same type of thing. It's like it's so absurd, but we cycle back to the point where the absurdity is good. Usually for inexplicable reasons, because I couldn't tell you why I'm so fascinated by this episode. But, the penis. We gotta talk about the penis. There is so much to unpack with this episode, but we have to start with the penis, because why? We don't know why. It just is, and you just learn to accept that it is. And let me tell you why. Because I just need to know. I need to fucking know what the writer's room looked like when someone pitched the idea. Like, hey guys, I got a great idea for a plot. We have this mole man who is covering his dick with his hand and doesn't want anyone to see it. But he kidnaps these two dudes specifically for them to validate that his penis is not disgusting. And the whole episode revolves around that. This one scrawny, squiggly looking guy's dick, and him trying to get two other dudes to tell him it's nice. What fucking timeline are we in where that makes sense, but it makes sense? And I'm like, I just want to know. I just want to know the initial reaction to that pitch because, good lord. But it's like the of course it's like the obvious solution. It's like put some pants on, put some underwear on, put some clothes on. But no, you just got the hand there. It's like you just like the whole joke of this is you should just have to accept that this is how it is, and any rational answer does not apply here. Because yes, he can put pants on, but why should he if he can put his hand over his dick the whole time? It's like, and we also don't question why Maureen, the mother, thinks it's great. And you know what we really don't fucking question is why Alan said it was delicious. Now let's fucking get into that, shall we? Because this whipped me so hard I almost broke my fucking neck because what the fuck do you mean that last 5 seconds even happened? Cause like penis thing aside, the whole mole man thing aside, which is already fucking absurd. You put the last 5 seconds in, that sealed the deal. That I don't want to say it saved this episode, but it'd be really different if we didn't have that. It's like just when you think they've done enough, no. I thought the penis looked delicious. It's like that is one of my favorite moments in the show. Cause like couldn't tell you why. It's just the funniest shit I've ever seen. Cause first of all, I wanna know. This is what I wanna know is why Charlie was the first one to say like I actually gotta look at the penis. It actually wasn't that bad. I thought it looked pretty good. It's like when you were held what you assume to be at life's risks to say the penis looked good and you wouldn't do it. But then you do it now after you've seen it. Like, okay, fine. And not him chiming in, like, yeah, I thought it looked pretty good too. And then it had to be Alan saying, I thought it looked delicious. For everyone to question what was going on. Because Glep's gotta be the only straight person in that friend group, because, I'm sorry, there is no heterosexual explanation for that scene. There's just not. Fight me. It's not because I had canon those three as not being straight. It's just like, what else would you think of that? You don't call another man's penis delicious without wanting to do something with it, if you catch my drift. Because this whole thing, we will definitely get into this later, but this kind of literally my favorite part of this entire season is like Alan's sexuality arc, if you will. And this was the start of it. Yes. 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 I don't know if he's like gay or bisexual or pansexual or whatever. I don't know. He just not straight. That's all I know. But I must end my praise there for now because the main thing holding this episode back from like being any higher is like the B plot bothers me, and I'll tell you why. Because why? I just want to know what was the reason for treating Alan and Glep like they weren't smiling friends? Like what the fuck? Yes, they are. That's why when Mole Man said like, "Oh, Alan and Glep, you two aren't even technically smiling friends, but I'll kill you anyway." And then Alan's like, "Fuck you." It's like, yes. What do you? Why? Like, why did they write it like that? And they never like just really disproved it. It's just like, oh, everyone just assumes that. It's like, what? Makes no fucking sense, honestly. And like, I only half liked like the B plot of Alan and Gleb babysitting because when I first saw like I guess the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, Alan and Gleb are getting their own like adventure. I really wonder how this is gonna go because we haven't seen that type of thing before. But turns out that wasn't really for much because it just resulted in them getting beat up by small children the entire time. And we're not gonna talk about the Glep inflation. I am not doing that. No. But it's like I don't care for them just to get beat up the whole time, but also it's like basically disown them as actual smiling friends. It's like, come on, guys. Why are we doing that? That's the only thing that bothered me. Like, that's my only real con of this episode is that. But it's like, I can get over that because, like, the A plot rules. So, yeah. You know what this reminds me of as well is Sarah from Gumball, like the character. Specifically, I made this connection, like, when I first saw the preview, is like the pictures on the wall. Like these candid shots that are taken like behind a bush type of thing. That is the same exact thing that Sarah did, like her wall of pictures of Gumball and Darwin and her whole song bit in that episode where she talks about like sneaking pictures of them when they're like getting changed and shit. It's like this is why I love Mole Man because Sarah is one of my favorite Gumball characters and they're the same person pretty much. They literally are. It's like, wow, in an obsessive fan over a pair of characters, a pair of two main characters, and yeah, it's like it's the same shit, but I know Sarah wanted to marry Gumball and Darwin, but it's like, did Mole Man want to marry Pim and Charlie? I think if they asked, he probably would. I just know for a damn fact that Alan would suck Mole Man off if he asked, so I'm just leaving it like that. I must also add, like, what I think this reminds me of, because we kind of got, like, the holy trinity of, like, obsessed people. Not peep, just obsessed. I made an edit about this that's on my Tumblr somewhere, so it's like, specifically the music video for Mariah Carey's Obsessed, because in that music video, like it's basically her in drag as someone that's supposed to look like Eminem, and like he's in a room with like the entire like all the walls, like the ceiling is like covered in pictures of her, and like he's like dancing with the cardboard cutout and shit, and he's like trying to sneak pictures of her and like following her around. It's like it's the same shit. So we got like the holy trinity of like obsessed Mole Man, Sarah Gelato, and Mariah Carey is obsessed. It's like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. But I find this personally entertaining. I find this deeply entertaining just because of how fucking weird it is. So I love it. Care I don't care if that could be unpopular or not, but nah, this is totally my shit. Alright, so next for number 6. This hurts a little bit, but oh my god. Him and Charlie save Mother Nature. Oh my god, stop. I tell you, ranking this was so fucking hard because it's like, yo. But now we're getting like past the point where like there's like super obvious things that I don't like about these, because now we're gonna have to like nitpick these to like kind of justify their ranking. But oh my god, the cookie scene. We're just gonna, you know what? Fuck it. We going straight into this because I'm not gonna pretend like this isn't one of my favorite moments in the show. Okay, fucking hell. Like this, my main takeaway from this season is just this. It's like I have never, for anything, been so blindsided by one single scene. Listen, I had a bingo card for this season. This wasn't fucking on it. I don't think anyone was expecting that. Like, people weren't even shipping this shit until this. Like, this is how powerful this is. It's like, this could be the best thing since sliced bread, I'm not gonna lie. Because, what do you mean that there is canon Alan and Mr. Boss shipping? I don't. Situation ship? I don't fucking know. What do you mean that is canon? What the fuck do you mean that is canon? That they were 2 steps away from fucking on screen. It's like, oh my god. I don't even know what to say about that other than that is my Roman Empire for like ever since this came out. Like, shut up. It's like with Mole Man, which is kind of why they're like sort of similar placements on this list. Is we have reached past the point of being disgusted by the absurdity where it's literally the best shit ever. Because I've seen someone say that it's like with Alan and Mr. Boss specifically, this scene can only work with those two specific characters. Like they are the only two characters that could have made this work. Because it seems like this was designed specifically for them. And I'm gonna tell you, this is only the B plot, but the B plot is what puts this leagues in my heart. Because the whole plot of like Alan trying to like work through his vacation as they're all staying at Mr. Boss's cabin, and Mr. Boss is like trying to get him to like relax for a bit, even though enemies to lovers okay, because Mr. Boss's I hate Alan password is like Alan doesn't give a fuck. He just wanted to get online. So it's like the fact that he just never acknowledged that he was offended by that just fries me, honestly, but you know what? That's what makes that joke work. But this whole thing of like, you know what? Maybe I'll try to relax for a bit and then you know what? Cookies. The thing is, it is while no one could have expected this, it doesn't feel out of character for either of them. It really doesn't. Because of course Mr. Boss would do that. Like, why not? It's like, just because it's shocking doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. It's like, he would do that. I'm just like, dude, either get it or you don't. I'm sorry. But what literally killed me, like, the original scene aside, the actual licking part. Like, yes, we can talk about their whole, like, dialogue with and with like the R&B music play in the background and the mood light, and it's like we can talk about that. But the actual 2 seconds of the cookie licking, nah, that is peak cinema, and you can't tell me otherwise. Because what the hell? Like, this is like a master class in like scene splicing. When Pim's like, I hope Alan Glepp and the boss come in and swoop in and save us at the last second, and then you just cut to that. Well, Charlie's almost gonna get eaten alive by Mother Nature. It's like the comedic timing of that, I don't think can be topped. It's like that's like personally handcrafted with such care. That sounds dramatic, but a joke has never landed harder in my life, and I am so serious about that because it's just so stupid. And you know what's even wilder? Because if we can recall from season 2, an Alan adventure where Alan has, it's alluded to, he had sex with that blue critter woman, and she's like, "Oh, Alan, last night was amazing," and he's like, "Okay." It's like he did not give a fuck. Next scene over, where Alan and Mr. Boss are having coffee on the porch. Alan was fucking glowing. He had that fucking after sex glow to him, and he was so happy. And they were so direct about it. It's like they said everything but the obvious, which makes this joke work so well. Because Mr. Boss is like, hey man, thanks for licking the cookie crumbs off my chest last night. And then Alan's like, no problem. Hey, thanks for teaching me how to relax. I feel so refreshed. It's like, you know what? We don't need the obvious. Because it makes jokes like this work for me so well. It's like, it's so easy. It is so incredibly easy just to have them have sex. But basically, the tension, everything but the actual thing, and using the cookies as kind of the cover up, yeah, brilliant. And like, like it's more than just like, oh, they had sex. It's like, no, this is what they're implying they're doing, but they never actually showed that. But we have all the context clues in the world to prove that they did. And you know what fried me? I didn't realize this on the first watch, but it's like a thing if you blink, if you'll miss it, is that Glepp actually did open his eyes very briefly at the end of the cookie licking scene. Because half the time it seemed like he was asleep, but he actually did open his eyes. They cucked chair Glepp. Like, what the hell is going on? Insert that Brendan Urie meme from the drunk history of Fall Out Boy.
Fucking text you right now! What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god, listen. I could talk about this shit for days, but we gotta actually get into the A plot. Because I do like the A plot, I really do. Because the whole thing of Mr. Boss, like, trying to convince Charlie that there's, like, some mythical cryptid that if you take a photo of him, it's worth all this money, and then Charlie is so determined to do it. But then, almost dies in the end because Mother Nature as a character, I really like. Like, yes, the reason why I'm ranking this a little bit lower than I otherwise might have is just because, like, I really do like the A plot. Like, I really love it. It's just like it doesn't really stand out from the A plots of basically ones higher than this, or like the main plots, because some of these episodes don't have B plots. It's just like I liked it, but it doesn't really give me that wow factor besides like Mother Nature is such a girl boss or whatever. I do love her as a character. I feel like my main problem with the A plot is just the foreshadowing was way too obvious. Like it just was. It's like there was no not suspension of disbelief, but just like, oh, we see where this is going. The only thing they had to do was make their eyes not turn red as they were singing the song, and then this would have been more believable. Or even just do it less often, because it seems like they did it like a lot. Like I just felt like it's like, oh, we know where this is going. It's like, oh, the plants are evil and Mother Nature kills people and they killed Mothman for nothing, I guess, and Charlie almost dies, but of course he doesn't die. Why would he? But I did find it really interesting. Like this is kind of like what a lot of people talk about is this whole thing of like him saving Charlie's life type of thing because he literally killed Mother Nature for Charlie. I understand. It's like what else would you do in this situation? It's like what are you gonna eat him alive or save him desperately by throwing the can that caused all this chaos into her mouth and killing her? It's like we will talk about this later, but this whole thing of like Pim and Charlie doing the most for the sake of each other, and if you know me, that I write Sharp Him. Mm-hmm. Go check out on my AO3, but I got my basically my Sharp Him novel. I'm like writing one of the chapters now, and currently the draft is over 100,000 words. So you know how I feel about Sharp Him. But I think this validates it a bit. Because Pim literally killed Mother Nature for this guy. I'm sorry. That is so cute. R.I.P. Mother Nature, though. The consequences of that cannot be good, obviously. But the way these two like plots converge, not really. The thing is, I want to say that the two plots converge. They just meet up in the end. But tell me this: we're going back to the cookie scene, okay? Do they know that this happened? We'll get into a later episode on this list where we'll see if that is true or not, because it could go either way. But do Pim and Charlie know about Alan and Mr. Boss's situation? Do they ever tell them? Do they know? Did Glep tell them? Because Glep was present during that. Would Glep snitch on them like that, or would Alan and Mr. Boss expose themselves like that, or would they want this to be public knowledge? We don't know. It is implied that it could be, but we just don't know. Which I find fascinating. It's like, because as far as we know, no one directly told Pim and Charlie what happened. Like, is this something that's like, what happened in the cabin stays in the cabin? Because that's what it feels like. But the ending to all of this, just chef's kiss, cherry on top, is when Mr. Boss reveals that the painting was not of a cryptid, but the inside of his asshole from a colonoscopy. That is so funny, and it's like the perfect thing to end it off on. It's like, you know what? Why not? Because Charlie never found it after all, so it's not real anyway. And everyone's just like, bruh. And it just ends like that. And man, that's some good shit right there. But like, I do really like this. Like this and everything after this in my list, it's like, oh, I love this so much. Like, I only nitpick because I have to justify their placements, but this is so good. This is a certified classic at this point. It's like, come on. Come on. So good. Okay, next for number 5, we have Silly Samuel. This was obviously the first episode of the season, and then like after I watched that, I was like, "Oh my god, we are so fucking back!" And you know what? Yes, we are. Because this being my intro to the season, I honestly couldn't think of a better episode to be like the first thing. I don't want to say because it kind of doesn't make you expect all of the really weird shit that happens later. because it really felt like the weird shit just built up slowly. Not even like weird as an absurd, and just like the different things that they would do. I don't want to say this episode being normal made it work, but low key it did because this episode probably has the most classic Smile and Friends story structure where they have a new character that they're trying to help, and then there's just a B plot going on too. And at the end, the two A and B plots converge. First of all, I must say I love Silly Samuel, like my man Sam, because one of my favorite new characters in this season. Because my favorite part of this episode is Sam as a character. Like this whole thing is like no one takes me seriously because I look so silly and it makes me mad. It's like, yes. I love that as like a concept, as him being like this weird amalgamation of parts. It's like that like they play it completely straight. Cause like this whole dynamic of Sam looking so weird, but like he has like this like, serious voice and he has like this gruff personality and he's like trying so hard. Like if he was like an average looking guy, like he'd just be another guy. But the juxtaposition is something I particularly enjoyed. And also like the layer of realism to the absurdity is how the doctor says it's like, yeah, we can't do anything to like give you plastic surgery pretty much because you have vital organs into every little part of your body. It's like, you know what? I like when it's like it's absurd, but they have the layer of realism that kind of like grounds it at least a little bit, which I really enjoy because we feel Sam's pain as he's getting more and more frustrated with Pim and Charlie as like what they're suggesting isn't working or he just doesn't like what they're trying to say. And also the audacity of Charlie saying like, "Why don't you just get surgery, plastic surgery, dude, so you don't look so fucked up?" And it's like, Charlie, I think that says more about you than him, but okay. But at least Pim was trying something. It's like, why don't you embrace it? But it's like, why would why would Sam want to be like a laughing stock type of like circus performer, like kind of what Pim suggested? And I just really enjoy it because it just feels right. Like I don't want to say like this feels well written, like it is. But it's like I just like what they were doing. I like what they were trying to say, and especially at the end where it's like only when they realize it's something that he said has been clearly proven to be true is when they accept him as like a prophet. And he does smile in the end as he gets his acceptance. It's like he wins in the end. Everyone's happy. The inspector vanished, but he's the only casualty. Let's get into the B plot because I think I like the A and B plots equally as much, which makes this higher than like the previous ones. Is because I just really enjoy both parts very solidly. Because this whole thing, like Mr. Boss and Alan have been on a trip this season because those two are my favorite characters. My top three favorite characters is Alan, Mr. Frog, and Mr. Boss, if you must know. So seeing this is the first time we saw them interact this season, and it's this whole thing of oh my god, the iconic Alan, we are so fucked. That still lives in my head. Like that is such a great iconic moment. But this whole B plot of like basically the building inspector coming randomly to check on the building, and then Mr. Boss is like, "Listen, we are fucked. I don't know what we can do. We're just screwed. So we have to pretend like everything's normal." And this is like the first big piece of lore that they reveal is like the building was built 30 years ago and it was made by slave labor from the Enchanted Forest. So he said cheap labor, but we can kind of figure that out. And like Mr. Boss like fully convinced to just knock this little old man on the head of a brick and then Alan's like, "Wait a minute, let's not do that." And what I found like this was like in the season trailer, but when they find the wall guy from the pilot dead in the walls, and then Mr. Boss is just like, I don't know what that is. It's like I kind of wish they didn't spoil that joke in the preview, but it's like it's still such a good joke because it's like, why did you bring that back? I don't know, but I'm so here for it. And this was on my season bingo card, but Mr. Boss kills people. Not directly, but if we see in the basement of the office building, there are some bodies and some guys chained up. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, of course he would do that. That's why I like predicted it. I'm like, listen, one episode in, and we already got confirmed that Mr. Boss kills people. So it's like, okay. But I really do enjoy how the A and B plots converge with like the inspector knocking over the nail that holds the whole building down, and like Sam saying like, "Well, watch out! There's something behind you." Before the building almost kills all those people, and that's what makes them believe that he's right. It's like it's just a beautiful conversion, like one of my favorites in this series. And of course, the thing where the did that guy just turn into sand? It's like I don't know. It's like that was just the cherry on top of all of this. It's like why not? It's like one of those endings. Like you know what? Why the hell not? Let's just vaporize this guy, I guess. But yeah, this is so solid. Like literally everything about this works, and it makes me very happy. So definitely a top favorite overall. Okay, so for number 4, we have Shamoogles. Ooh, this is this is so good. Like, let me explain. This surprised me, like high key, because I'm like, what do you mean they did Rescue to Midnight Castle? Okay, I'm a pony lady, so it's like I'm assuming like 99% of y'all don't know what Rescue to Midnight Castle is, but it's My Little Pony 80s TV special, and it's the same fucking plot as this. It's like, yes! The thing I love most about this episode is like the kind of 80s dark fantasy type of situation they got going on. Like it's very um Generation 1 My Little Pony. It's very The Last Unicorn. It's like that type of thing where it's like basically like a brave knight saves the princess and the Smurfs are there somehow. Like it's like this is very 80s inspired, especially with the Smurfs little Shmoogle characters. Well, first they're blue, so it's not subtle at all. But also they kind of look like nerds characters, like like the little cartoon nerd characters on the packaging. That's what they remind me of. I can bet $100 that that's what they were based off of. But like the vibes of this and the fact that this is only one plot, and let me tell you why this works. Because usually, if it's an episode where they're only doing like an A plot and there's like no B plot, you know some shit's about to go down, okay? They really focus on like one specific concept. They usually like nail it, like for real. Because you kind of go into this episode as they like visit the Shmoogle land, where it's like very Smurf-esque, where it's like, oh, these little guys are just having fun and they don't really care about anything. And even when the wizard goes and kidnaps them to make his hair ointment, um, and they don't care, it's like we are bringing some more realism into like the fantasy. It's not even absurdism in here because it's just straight fantasy. Where Charlie crashes out on the Shamoogles for not giving a shit that their friends are getting abducted to get killed. Like he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? All you care about is dancing and playing all day. You don't actually care about each other. Like, what the fuck, man? You saw your friends get abducted, and you're not gonna do anything about it? You're horrible fucking people. The Charlie crash out is my favorite Charlie moment in this season, and probably overall. It's like, what do you mean? Okay, this is the Charpim episode of the season, low key. No, high key. High key, because Charlie built a fucking army to save him. Argue with the wall about it. What do you want from me? He is clearly the brave knight, and Pym is clearly the damsel in distress. Let's like be so fucking for real. That was framed intentionally. Anyway, But this whole thing of like showing how much Charlie cares about Pim, where it's like he gets so upset that the Schmoogles aren't doing shit to like try to help anybody, so he has to scream at them, and like obviously the iconic training sequence, but he like builds them up. So he makes an army where a lot of them sacrifice their lives to save the others, specifically Pim, because Charlie's like, bring me my friend back or else. And then when the wizard's like, nah, he's like, no second chances, we going the fuck in. And that whole like sequence of like the Schmoogles storming the castle and some of them dying, like it was very dramatic. Like I like how like dramatic it is, but not in like a not in a super serious way because we will obviously see some of that later. But it was dramatic enough. Again, that kind of 80s dark fantasy type of thing. But I say like this doesn't have a B plot, but it kind of does. But it is so closely tied to to this whole thing that I'm questioning that because when Pim is abducted by the wizard and the wizard realizes you're not a Shamuka, what the hell are you doing here? And then Pim is basically trying to convince the wizard that he doesn't need to kill the Shamoogles to make hair growth ointment because he's bald, bald, bald. Obviously, the most obvious comparison is the original SpongeBob movie. It's like obviously, but yeah. I found this is what I find particularly fascinating about this specific episode is the choice they made to at the very beginning to have Charlie be like, "Nah, Pim, I'm gonna leave. This seems like more of a you task and not for me." Like this whole like you know the situation. I'm going to Wawa's to get lunch while you're at it, but just before he's gonna leave, like Pim gets abducted, and he basically locks the fuck in and actually completes the mission because he says that Pim is the one that is most apt to do this job. Doesn't realize that he's the one that actually made the wizard smile in the end, because as Pim was try and fail to note attempt to convince the wizard that it's okay to go bald, and the wizard is bringing up all of these points that aren't even completely wrong because of his whole dilemma where he's like showing Pim the different pictures and he's like how bald people are like treated less in society than men who have hair. Like it's obviously it's like a two-sided argument, but it's like the way he kind of frames it's like because even Pim's like, I guess I see what you mean. It's like neither of them are in the complete right, and I find that fascinating. Because even Pim has that bias. It's like the guy with more hair looks like he'd have a better paying job. Is that true? Of course not. But that's what Pim thinks. And he's the only one helping the wizard. So it's like we as the audience can understand that it's like that is not true, but the fact that someone would have that opinion makes sense, type of thing. And it only took Charlie, because we revealed this as part of Charlie's lore, is that he uses like medication to make his hair grow back because he was almost bald. And it was Charlie who convinced the wizard to stop killing Shamoogles once he actually successfully convinces him to start taking medication for his hair. Because he's like, you got enough hair left, I'm sure if you just take the meds, you'll have enough hair in no time. It's like Charlie's rationale came in clutch so hard here, and it really makes both Pim and the audience think Pim, not Charlie has a place in this team because as has been shown in other episodes, it's like you can't just have one of them. You need to have both of them in order for something to work. Because Pim did what he could to try to convince the wizard, but his like frame of mind was not what the wizard was going to listen to. And it took a different approach from Charlie, who actually had experience with that problem, to successfully convince him otherwise is so fascinating. It's like Charlie's judgment is better for some situations, and Pim's judgment is better for other situations, and that is so good. because it can be so easy for someone to think it's like, well, Charlie doesn't do anything in this group. What point does he have, as has been explored in other episodes? But this really makes us think it's like Charlie has value here. He is literally hero Charlie, hero Charlie, hero Charlie. But this time it's actually true. Like he literally saved him in all these schmoogles. Like he is literally the Prince Charming knight in this story. Incredible. Love it. It's just like everything about this, like the whole like setting up the scene and also like the very interesting like character things we get in here. It's just so good. Like this is tight. Like this I want to say I didn't expect them to do a story like this, but I'm just so glad they did because it's just the vibes, like straight vibes, impeccable. The actual story, awesome. Char Primfield, for me specifically, hell yeah. So I say this checks all of the boxes for me. Okay, now we are officially in the top three. Oh my god. These are like, I'm saying it right now, the top three are all 10 out of 10s for me. Like, I'm not fucking around. These are pretty much perfect episodes for me, so yeah. But number three, this was hard to choose, but it was the Glep ep. I'm saying it right now. I knew this was gonna fuck me up. I didn't realize how bad it was gonna actually be. Because as soon as they said, oh, we're doing a Glep centered episode, I'm like, oh, there's some shit that's gotta go down. I didn't realize it'd be like that. Glep angst when? Oh my god, like, where do we begin other than holy angst? Holy angst. Oh, um, self promotion. I wrote a one shot about this episode. Link in the cards to the podfic I wrote about this episode. I had a great time doing it. It's one of my favorite things ever written. So if you want to listen to that or read it on my AO3, you totally should because I really like it. Because this episode fucked me up so bad, I had to write a one shot about it in like one sitting. Okay, because anytime they do angst, this obviously is not the first time we see the said angst in this season. But we finally get the fucking Glep lore. We finally understand everything about Glep. Makes my heart so happy, oh my god. Because this whole thing about the age old question of what does the green thing do? He's the reason why this shit exists. Because, first, they brought back the continuity of Glep being thousands of years old. We actually see proof of that because remember when they doxed Glep in Mr. President? Turns out that came back, which is such a perfect thing to bring back. So, not only with him being so old, but also him being the reason why the Smile and Friends company exists, and the reason why Mr. Boss is basically still alive. Because obviously, Glep catches Mr. Boss in the right place at the right time, where he takes Mr. Boss out of his deep depression slump, and when Mr. Boss really puts a gun to his head and says, give me a reason not to pull the fucking trigger, and Glep does a little dance, and then he's like, you know what, that made me feel better. It's like, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because it's like, we see Glep, like, express more emotions here, but it's not like this all makes sense. Like, this whole plot of, like, Glep being fired from his job because they realize he's not doing anything, so what is he doing freeloading here? And then Glep basically loses everything. He loses his friends, his wife leaves him for the holidays and he has nowhere else to go, so he's just forced to walk around and like reflect on his life. And in the end, he does go back to them and it's all well again. I mean, it's not surprising that it was all well in the end, but how we got here is kind of what I'm interested in. because as we see when he sits down at the bar and the bartender's like, "Whoa, man, you must have seen a lot of crazy fucking shit in your time since you're like 3,000 years old." And we see the three events that he remembers. One, him almost being executed by the Roman Emperor, and him being almost burned in the Salem witch trials, and being a part of like a campfire talk during the American Revolution. And there's a common theme in these three instances where two out of the three is Glep is almost killed but is spared by freak accident. Because for the Roman Emperor, if he didn't do his little dance, which may I remind you is the same type of dance he did in season 1, episode 2 of Mr. Frog, like his little victory dance after he got the Mr. Frog role. Important to note, I don't know if that was completely intentional, but it is there, that when Glep does his little Mr. Frog dance, the Emperor goes so insane that he chucks himself out the window, and he single-handedly causes the fall of the Roman Empire, you know? Because why not? So, and then we move on to the Salem witch trials, where, like, he's about to get burned alive for doing nothing, letting milk spoil, I suppose. And if he didn't cough the goo in the face of the executor, he wouldn't have caused a bubonic plague, but here we have he also caused a bubonic plague. So, obviously, at this point, we can tell, well, he can't catch a break at all. But even, this was probably, I'd say the most striking one was the last segment with the American Revolution. He didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't even a freak accident that got him out of a bad situation. He was just in a campfire circle with supposedly, at least friends or acquaintances. He just adds to the conversation. And everyone's like, who invited this guy? I think I want to leave now. So it's not like Glep is only, it seems to be bad luck, but it's like he's just unlikable to a lot of people for some reason. We don't know why, because obviously speak he doesn't speak any language besides his own. But it's like he's been alive for so long. He has seen so much shit. He almost dies a few times. And it seems like no matter where he went, it's like he can't catch a break. It's like like what I'm talking about right now is exactly what I wrote my fan fiction about, so I just expand upon that because this is what itches my brain in the right spot so well, is when we can really dive into this by using the context provided in the canon. It's like, come on. It's like, what do you mean Glep has been alive all these years and he's only ever found like his true home within others that he works with, and when that's taken away from him, he gets all sad and realizes, damn. Yeah, so that is why. That is exactly why this is like a 10 out of 10. This goes deep. Like, this is some deep angst, and I didn't think they'd do it twice. I really didn't think we'd do it twice. If I had a nickel for every time they had a green character experience incredible angst in this season, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Incredible. So what I want to mention, that this was just particularly strange, and this makes me feel a lot of things, because as I've said when I was talking about, Mother Nature and the Boss Allen relationship that's kind of canon now, and I said that, like, do we know if the others know? Because, I don't know. You know what I didn't expect? You know what fucking knocked me out? Okay, they are in Mr. Boss's office and having their performance review pretty much. And when Mr. Boss is like, "Oh, Ellen, you did some good paperwork this year. Keep up the good work." And then Ellen bows and is like, "Thank you, master." I am so fucking sorry. You cannot act like that after the events of the cookie scene and think that was not intentionally sexual. In front of Pim and Charlie. I have so many questions, but I'm not gonna get too into it. But, that felt extremely deliberate. Like, it just did. It's like, It's basically you can't have the cookie scene and not have us microanalyze the interactions between them going forward, but then you throw some shit like that in there because we have never seen Alan do that. And I'm thinking, y'all are still fucking. There's no way. I don't know what kind of dynamic I guess that they got going on there, but it's like, you know what? I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a fucking joke. Like, oh, for one episode they have a couple weird scenes. No, this is the continuity now. This is just what it is. Like, this is the new norm? Is this the new norm? Because after that, we don't see Al and Mr. Boss interact that much. I'm like, I swear to God, if they continue this into season 4, I hope so. Because at first I'm like, this is so weird, but it's like, do I ship it? The big question is, do I ship it? Half unironically, I know. It's like it's like one of the things like I just can't hate it. I just can't. It's too stupid. It's too funny. I say I like it because it's funny and that's it. So you know what? Yeah, why not? You know what? With all the other shit that happened in this season, why not? Just why not? Nothing matters anymore. We can have the Boss Allen ship. Just can't. It's whatever. You have to deal with it. You know what? I respect the not giving a fuck about that because why not? And of course, it was very sweet that Mr. Boss did forgive him in the end because he's like, you know what? You are the reason why this whole thing is here. Like, you're literally like that flimsy nail that held the building to the ground to this place. Because as he comes back, obviously it's in complete fucking chaos. But just him being there, like he's literally the essential vibe. He's the load bearing vibe to the group, and this is what I mean. That this season specifically has shown us that every single character in the main four, Mr. Boss, is he a part of that friend group? I don't know. At least between Pim, Charlie, Alan, and Gleb, this season shows that every single one of those characters is fundamental in this friend group, or else it just goes to shit. It's like we don't see how things go to shit in this episode, but it just happened because he wasn't there. But it's just like, this is so good. This is some levels of storytelling that I never thought we'd ever get, but we got it twice, and that's fucking incredible. It's like, man, oh, this being like the last episode as of now, and it being the Christmas episode, it's like, yeah, this is perfect. Like, this is so perfect to me. Oh my god, number 2. The Incredible Voyage of Mr. Frog. That is what the French translates to. Oh! This killed me. This fucking killed me, bro. I only squeak this above the Glep ep simply because this hurt more. This was only the second episode of the season, and it hit me like a fucking train, okay? I've said before, Mr. Frog is one of my favorite characters, and some of my favorite episodes are the Mr. Frog episodes. I do like Mr. President. Fight me. But I've always loved Mr. Frog. He's so funny. I love him. So you could have guessed my shock when they put full angst on this man. This was, you know what, for the Glepep, I was kind of expecting it, okay? Like, I'm like, oh, then we might get some weird things going on here. Like some unpacking. I didn't think they would ever do this. With Mr. Frog, of all people. It's like, this is the most nonsense guy. And yet he gets a whole angst arc. It's like, that is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Because this, despite, like, is this too serious for the show? But in the context of, like, what we know about Mr. Frog, it's like, this makes sense. It's like this whole thing of, like, as a president, he has conquered every land, he has achieved everything he could ever want, and therefore there's nothing left for him to do. Which makes him think, this sucks now. I quit. Fuck you. But now he's thinking, like, I feel empty for some reason. Because he's got nothing left to do. He's got no goals left to achieve, no mountains left to climb, no power left to be held. It's like he's just done it. It's like what do you do? It's basically the question of what does the man who has everything do? This is exactly what we're looking at. Because it's like you can have all the material and status in the world, but it's like inside, do you feel fulfilled? No, Mr. Frog does not. And by happenstance, Pim and Charlie stumble upon him in the karaoke bar, and Charlie's like, "Hey, there he is." But the funniest thing, like, there's still humor in this episode despite it being pretty serious, is that it took Pim and Charlie witnessing Mr. Frog turning down the offer to fuck someone else's girlfriend for them to get concerned that he's unwell, and that is the most in character thing for them to do. 'Cause yeah, I'd be concerned too, because Mr. Frog, are you okay? I also like the bit where he's like singing in the karaoke stage. It's like, that just adds a bit of flavor to his character. But and also the whole thing with Charlie like signing him up for UFC fighting, and then everyone that touches him just dies. And then Charlie's like, "I understand why you're depressed now, dude. Won you just won the UFC championship in one fight without even trying." It's like, "I understand, dude." It's like, that sounds like very pessimistic, but it makes sense coming from Charlie. But bro is just actually shocked because him and Charlie witnessed the horrors once more by seeing like many people get slaughtered in front of them. But it's like, yeah. But I mean, I don't say this was like him pulling the nerve engine part two is when Mr. Frog kicked Pim in the face and he like knocked him out. Like Pim's singing his little song and then he just gets drop kicked by Mr. Frog and he's like on the concrete face down, and the end credit scene shows that his face is now deformed. It's like, okay, briefly we have to talk about the end credit scene because this was so funny. The whole thing of like Charlie's like, "Alan, I know he looks a bit different, but just pretend it's normal, okay?" And then Pim walks in, he looks a little messed up, and then they're like, "Hey, you look great, dude, no worries." And then Mr. Bosch just fucking walks in, and he's like, "Yo, did you see Pim's new fucking head on Facebook?" And then he's like, "Oh, I don't know, that's such a simple thing, but it's so good." But, it's weird because, like, there's definitely two halves of this episode. It's like, you got the part where Pim and Charlie are attempting to do kind of like a smile mission type thing, but then you have like where it instantly pivots to the family drama. Like this, when I tell you this knocked me the fuck out, I'm still not recovered from that because oh, another plug for my fan fiction is I did write a one shot about this too. Link in the cards, and it's on AO3. But damn, this I had to write some about this as long as well as the Glep one too. It's like, wow, the two episodes that made me had to write crash out fan fiction about it. Okay. But this is my favorite scene in the show. The conversation with Father Frog. That is my favorite scene from the show. It's like every single time I see it, it's like hell yeah, because the beauty of it is that it is too serious for the show. It just is, but that's what makes it absurd, but it works so well. It's like, why are we having this very intense drama moment with like this award-winning acting from Father Frog? And it just fucking cuts deep. And what makes me so floored by this decision to do this at all, pretty much, because I didn't know what to expect when I heard this episode was coming out. Nobody expected this. But the idea that Mr. Frog is not all powerful. And it's not due to any like great force, cuz he literally conquered the entire world and achieved everything one could want. But the one person that will bring him down to feeling like nothing is his own father. And his heavy disappointment in him, that despite all the success he had and everything he's ever done, he's embarrassed by him. Why? He just said he was making a fool of himself. We don't get a concrete answer as to why. But that hurts Mr. Frog. Because his father literally disowns him. It's like, let alone having that conversation to begin with. But the fact that they just put more salt on the wound and have him say, I have no son. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is why this is better to me than the Glep ep, because this just hurts. You would never think you would hurt for Mr. Frog, but this felt too real. Like, this feels so realistic. It's like even like the staging of it, like the kind of desaturated darkened colors with the heavy shadows. It's very quiet. The silence is so loud. All you hear is the crickets from the forest in the background. It haunts you a bit, honestly. I still think about this all the time. It stays with you kind of thing. It's like, what was that? Kind of like in awe rather than of disgust than like something else from this season would make you feel, but you know what I mean. But no, there's more than that, because we see Mr. Frog actually express more emotions, because he does, in a fit of rage, have a crash out. We don't see him, like, emote a lot, really. We just don't. Like, that was his character. It's like he'd do whatever shit he wanted with a straight face. This is the first time we see him express, like, this anger. It's not like just anger, but it's a very deep anger of, like, loss. Like, he literally has nobody. His mother died without her seeing her son again. Where is my boy? And his father disowning him. And he can't, I don't think he's coming back from that. So it's like, he can be affected. It's just like, this is so powerful because this has never been done and it will never be done again, because I think this is it for him. Because as we know, when he eats the bug of knowledge, he transforms into a realistic frog and he's like, goodbye. Oh, I don't know if he's gonna be gone forever. I feel like he is. It's so bittersweet, but because I love Mr. Frog. But good for him. He healed. He's better now. Um, oh my god. This shit I think this made me cry. Like, I'm not lying. This shook me so bad. So I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. This is like extremely close to my number. We know what the number one is. Come on, there's only one episode left. But holy shit. That's all I gotta say. It's like peak cinema. Literally. And for number one, we all know what it is at this point. Curse of the Green Halloween Witch. This is my favorite episode of the series. It just is, okay? I didn't know if we were gonna have like a new top favorite, because previously my favorite episode was actually the pilot, Desmond's Big Day Out. Like, that was my previous favorite episode. I think it's like third, like under Mr. Frog now. Because I think it's like Curse of the Green Halloween Witch, The Incredible Voyage of Mr. Frog, and then Desmond's Big Day Out. I think that's my top three if you wanted to know. So, the thing, this just shocked me so bad. Like, this is nuts. Like, I think, like, I just get, like, obviously you get different emotions from, like, this one compared to Mr. Frog, so it was very hard to try to put them against each other, because it's just not the same thing. It's like, why are you comparing bagels to donuts or something? So, but I was even such a huge fan of season two's Halloween episode. So, that was very close to being a top favorite. But I didn't care for season one. Don't torch me, but I didn't care for a silly Halloween special from season one. I just don't. But anyway, that's not important because this is my favorite episode now, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is literally everything to me. Because we'll just walk. Just there's a lot to go through, but we just need to walk through this. So of course, it starts out with them watching the movie, of course. But then right off the gate, like even before the witch even comes around, they're trying to figure out what to eat, and they just deliberately ignore Pim as he's trying to say, like, "Can we get pizza?" And everyone's like literally act like he's not there. In literally every other situation, this would piss me off so spectacularly that I would rank it last. But I'm gonna tell you why this is works extremely well. But that's like the tension's already built there. It's like Pim feels like he is not being listened to. Like everyone ignores him, nobody cares about him type of thing. Because they literally talk like he's not in the room. So of course, they hear the doorbell and who is it? The Green Halloween Witch. Can you please spare an old sexy woman like me a dime? And they're so aggressive to her for what? Like, Mr. Boss comes off a fucking bat and is like, "She giving you trouble, boys?" It's like, you know what? He would beat the shit out of a random old lady, but it's this is important why this happened of them being aggressive because if not, she would have never showed them what was in her magic ball. Because, of course, it isn't obvious until the very end that the events that happened in this episode up to them meeting the witch was all an illusion. And again, this was something that would normally piss me off in any other situation, but this works so well. Because even like as you watch it, knowing what's going to happen in the end, you can't really detect when reality stops and the illusion begins. Which keeps you on your toes the whole time. Because, of course, the first time I was watching this episode, I didn't know that would be the plot twist. Like, I really didn't. I'm like, Pim killed everyone? Okay, sure. It's, like, that is what you call basically no foreshadowing, but it makes sense why it does. Because, again, as the absurdity ramps up in this episode, you're like, this can't be real, right? Of course it's not. But there's just like within the illusion sequence itself, there's just so much to unpack here because this shit gets crazy. So of course it starts out with Charlie's like, "What if we got pizza?" And then Alan's like, "Wow, you have the best ideas, Charlie." And Pim's like, "That's what I said." Again, setting up that tension because the way they set up tension throughout this episode to lead to the climax is just so perfect. Because the fact that this all leads up to something so spectacular, it makes me understand is too light of a word for it, but it's like I understand perfectly clear why they had to be mean to Pim up until the crash out moment, okay? Because the build-up had to something. They're not just torturing Pim for the sake of it. We do get reward out of that. Because when the power first goes off, then Mr. Boss is like, "Oh, I guess we have to go fix the circuit breaker." "Pim, won't you come with me to be my little flashlight, bitch?" And I'm like, what? Isn't character for Mr. Boss to say something like that? Yes. To Pim specifically? That's kinda weird to say that at all. In a general sense? Oh my god. I know that wasn't sexual. It probably wasn't meant to be. It was probably just meant to be stupid. But, like, come on. There's some sexual tension there that I don't know what I feel about. But then, as him and Mr. Boss, like, go investigate the basement, Alan and Charlie realize there's something wrong with Gleb. But the weirdest fucking thing is like when they're like lighting candles and like, I think Gleb ate the other ones. Like, what the fuck do you mean Gleb is eating candles? That's not the Glepler we need. Like, come on, guys. It's like, why Gleb? But then they realize that Gleb is possessed. Like, obviously, Gleb is the first person that they reveal is possessed. And I think like his kind of like he's like a zombie pretty much. Like he has the goo coming out of his mouth. He has like the rainbowy eyes. Because this reminds me of two things. The later My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episode. I haven't like watched this at all or like in many years, but the one where the ponies pull a prank on Rainbow Dash, probably pretending like they're zombies with the rainbow on their mouth, like that episode, and also the classic Amazing World of Gumball episode where where like they have the zombie outbreak and then like they all are like zombies with the rainbow coming out of their mouth. Like it's like same shit, different font, but I love that because who doesn't love a good zombie horror type of episode? But of course, Glep is the first one they find, so they duct tape him to the table as he spits out his black goo. And of course, the black goo gets onto Charlie. I just think like Alan's like, Glep shot his goo on Charlie's face. Eh, such things happen, I suppose. But I find this interesting because we didn't know because the Glep ep came after this. But the black goo looks very similar to the black goo that came out of Glep's mouth when he started the bubonic plague. Was that meant to be a parallel? I'm not sure. But as we know, the goo makes Charlie melt into a smooze type substance. If you didn't know, the smooze is a G1 My Little Pony villain, so yeah, very smooze-esque. But it's like the quote unquote transformation sequence of Charlie melting and like slowly realizing he's being deformed. It's kind of given like the SpongeBob I was a teenage Gary Snail transformation scene. Like it's like about that degree of gnarly. It's like, oh god, if you were a small child, you would not like that. Because I think I was scared of the snail scene as a kid. So it's like we slowly realize that's like, oh my god, there is some weird. The witch, because Pim, of course, is like convinced. Like, I think the witch did something to us. Like, no shit. But then when we go to Mr. Boss getting electrocuted by the circuit breaker because it looked like someone clawed it, I think. But it's like we never know who did that or how that happened. But then we get some Mr. Boss, more Mr. Boss lore. We get a lot of Mr. Boss lore this season. But we see the ghost of his dead mother, who allegedly he left a nursing home to die, and traded her heirlooms and trinkets for a gaming PC. All shit that he would definitely do. Again, we get to see like a different type of emotion out of him because even though he like admits to doing all this like stupid shit, like buying his gaming PC, like the regret is like actually it feels real. Like it's not like it's like the right amount of dramatic because he probably like actually feels bad about it because like he does want to see his mommy again, but it's like you're the reason why she died, bro. Some of that family angst in there that was really good, and also the Spider Alan. We don't know how this happens. He just shows up like that, obviously, but you know. You know what I think? I think I've seen some people say this, but is the Spider Alan like the choice to have him as a spider because he was arguing with Armzo in an Alan adventure and he was making fun of him for being a spider? Is that what they were doing? Or am I going crazy? I don't know. But in my heart, that's what they did. And the whole thing of him shooting his babies at him is gross, but like, there's already so much shit happening in this episode. It's not like that bad compared to everything else. Of course, Pim feels like he's losing his fucking mind because even when he was talking to Mr. Boss, he was like, seems like he wasn't even there. And Alan basically calling him crazy. It's like, what do you mean? He was born this way. When he's like, you're cursed too. It's like, you're the one that's cursed. I'm not cursed. It's like, literally everybody hates Pim in this episode. It's like, but not for nothing. And we know exactly why. Because as we lead the build up, we're basically Pim is the last man standing. he is running like the animation in this episode. We need to talk about this. The animation in this episode is the best animation I've ever seen on cartoons on TV. Like this is some Gumball-esque type shit. The mixed mediums, the trippiness of it, and like just all of it. Like this shit is actually like not like scary, but it's like this freaks you out a bit. Like yes, there's jump scares, but there's also like some psychological horror to this and body horror to this. Like there's a lot of different layers to this. And overall, I think this is a pretty popular opinion that this episode was meant to be not a commentary, just like this is like the creepypasta episode because it's like all this dark, crazy shit happens, but it's not real, of course, because why would it? I think it's deliberately that, and that makes me so incredibly happy. Yes, we get canon creepypasta shit. But of course, as we know, Pym is having his crisis as he's trying to escape from being cursed, and we kind of see like these abstract images of like the guys that are like taunting Pym, and even when we see his family like cocooned on the wall in spider webs, I thought that was an extremely interesting choice to bring back. I think some of the family trauma type of stuff, as was explored in the pilot, had to be related. And all this beat, like the thing that breaks him, this is what I find particularly interesting. The thing that breaks him is Charlie taunting him. And like the spirits that form, like the evil spirits that form around them saying, like, Charlie's saying one thing, like, this is all your fault, Pim, this is all your fault. Why didn't you give the old woman the dime? But you also have the spirits in the background saying, it's like, don't you hate being mistreated? Don't you just wanna don't you hate that? Don't you hate how people treat you? They never appreciate you, Pim. They never did. And that just breaks him. You know what? You know what? Insert that SpongeBob screaming meme. Because this is the best thing that ever happened in the season. Pim crashes out. This was on my bingo card, and I get excited just talking about it. You know how long I've wanted this? Do you know how long I've wanted to see Pim actually snap? Oh my god! Literally, it's like a proud mother. It's like, my boy did it. He finally snapped on somebody. It's like so satisfying. That is the most satisfying thing. It's like drinking water when you're really dehydrated. It's like, oh my, the feeling when I first saw that, oh, I can't explain it. He literally strangles Charlie to death, and upon realizing what he'd done, he has his full Joker moment and kills everybody. This whole sequence is particularly gruesome, but it's like he kills Alan with the bug spray, he breaks Plep's jaw, and he stabs Mr. Boss to death. And what I find interesting is, after all said and done, he still doesn't regret his actions. He's laughing like a lunatic. And he relishes actually in the destruction as the building burns around him because he knocked the candle on the floor. He's about to die. But what I think is interesting is he goes back to Charlie. He goes back to Charlie when he's about to get killed because he slips over his goo, falls over, and he lays on top of Charlie as the ceiling tile falls on him, and that's where the illusion ends, is when Pim's about to get killed. It stops there, and then the woman's like, you see, this is what would happen if you don't give me the dime. And I'm just like, what? This is the best fucking thing to ever happen. I think this is what edges it above the Mr. Frog episode. This floored me in such a satisfying way that you don't understand. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion. When this came out, everyone was fucking shocked. It's like, holy shit. Oh my god. It's so satisfying. I don't care. You know what? I don't care that it was a dream. It's real to me, goddammit. It's like, for the Halloween thing, where it's like more dramatic than it otherwise would be, and it's like in the creepypasta vibe, it's like, yeah, that happened. I hear you loud and clear. This makes total sense. And it gets even better when Charlie apologizes to Pim. He's like, I'm sorry I acted like a dick back there. That was out of character for me. I'm sorry. But my favorite thing is like, you killed me inside the orb, dude. It's like Charlie apologized, and it was genuine, and it's like that knows all the shit he's done when he wasn't in the orb. He apologized. Thank God Charlie took accountability, because if he didn't do that, I would have been pissed. And then, ooh, plot twist, is this real after all? Because Spider Alan pulls up with the pizza. It's like, nope, dead. There's Alan right there. That whole ending is such a clusterfuck, but it's so good. It's like, is it or is it not? We may never know. It's like, you know what? Yeah, this is absolute peak fucking cinema. Like, nah. If they can top something like this, I'd be happy to see it. But, like, this is everything. Perfect. No notes. Don't care what you think. This is my shit. Alright, so that's it. That is all 8 episodes. Oh my god. Okay. That I can't believe I did this completely unscripted, so I guess I do have strong feelings about that. But man, I know I said it. This is the best season. It just is. It's like, come on. I think that's not an unpopular opinion, but there was something different in the air. They sprinkled a little bit of something in this. Like, it's just different. It's like we get more angst, we get more weird shit, we get a lot more, like, weird shit. It's like, this is the perfect level of, like, it keeps you on your toes. It's like, it's literally never let them know your next move, because when I tell you nobody was expecting any of that, I fully mean it. But yeah, this was so exciting, and hopefully we'll get episodes 9 and 10, because I need more from this season. It's like, damn, I already kind of miss it. That was fun. But yeah, so let me know in the comments, like, your thoughts and stuff. Just be nice about it, okay? But yeah. But hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye.